but yeah, talking about emotional awakening and uh, yeah, that's right. I've already talked a lot about it, but we can touch more
Forgive me, sweetheart.
on the things to like to get there. You know, I
Mother.
mean, and also there are people out there that don't want to. So there are those people that I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, kind of, because I'm not a professional. I mean, and I'm not obviously I'm not obviously someone to be like highly regarded. This is probably the reason why I'm not getting any views right now. But it's good to think about therapy sometimes, and your own therapy. And I'm not talking about just seeing a professional. I'm talking about talking to yourself, or not talking to yourself, but understanding what you need to know about yourself in order to be able to make certain decisions. And understanding that you're not alone. Because some people may think that they don't have problems, I guess, and it's not the fact that they don't have problems or anything like that. It's just they have a little empathy, I guess, or for themselves, but also to realize that um, uh, and I don't believe in any like holistic cure about understanding in yourself and make you live longer, but it'll cause less stress, which in turn will cause less aging process. You know, yeah, it can. So I'd say so. Just, I'd say do something for yourself, and but also to make sure you do something for yourself that you like. I'd say that you that you wish to have, I guess. As far as something positive or something that's good for you. But I mean, I think it's vague too. So, I mean, I guess I got an example. Every once in a while, I like to do a cheat day, or something like that, or a cheat week. Sometimes I'm not really like too keen on dieting, and I'm kind of dieting right now. So it's hard for me to do that, and it's hard for me to lose weight sometimes too, because I think I might be allergic to something, but I'm not exactly sure. So, but also realize that yeah, that I guess, I mean, stick around. Also, it has to do with your friends as well. It has to do with the people who are around you. It has to do with the people who are doing things for you or want to do things for you. Realize that eventually, no matter what people do in return for you or because of things, eventually there's the colors will show and see the way. And I'm not saying that like, oh God is number one or whatever. I'm just saying that they're like, there's such thing as fake friends. There are such things as fake friends. There are. I mean, it's true. It's a fact. There are such things as friends who do things in order to get something in return that's bigger than they got. And I can say that with enough certainty to where I could loud cap someone for stealing some shit of mine, and or I could just later on when he's not thinking about anything around is slash his tires. But I wouldn't do that. Bo, stop doing that to the couch. Get away from the couch now. Get off the couch. Thank you. phone. Alarms. Alright. Lots of stuff going on. Bo, stop chasing the cat, you idiot, man. Jeez. So basically, there are people in this world that just look out for themselves, obviously. And they're always looking out for themselves, no matter what. No matter what they do, no matter how they do it, they're always looking out for number one. But realize that those people are not fulfilled emotionally. They're not with themselves emotionally. They're not doing anything for themselves emotionally, or physically sometimes. And those people will eventually realize that they made a huge mistake and they need to get themselves back into shape as far as emotional awareness, as far as what they want for themselves. And sometimes they wait so long that they have to start over with another group of people, or they have to start over with a person that doesn't know that they did those things. So, I mean, and also eventually everyone will realize that they did those things, that they did stupid shit, and eventually they should be judged for it, because it can leave a, I'd say like it can leave a lasting effect on your mental psyche by doing stupid shit to people for a remainder of your life. My dad knows this. Even my dad's know this. And I mean, like, it was the 70s, so people were, at least in New Orleans, robbing the shit out of other people. And it's one of the reasons for any of the things that they were terrible, terrible people out there. And there were terrible people out there, and some people wanted to ignore it, some people wanted to do something about it, and there weren't phones or cell phones or social media or anything. And it's basically like communication has done a better job of destroying of thwarting serial killers and fucked up crimes and stupid shit, you know. Phones have done a better job of doing anything like that than literally anyone else. I'm not just saying just because of the movies that I saw. I'm saying it's because girls go out and they have someone to talk to before they go, or after they go, and when they go. People talk and then no one goes out alone sometimes, and that's good for me, for them, for everyone. And it's good for me that people don't go out alone, because I don't have to go out alone, because not only do I get lonely sometimes when I'm drinking by myself, but also too, I mean, you know, I want to be safe, you know, and there's risks for everyone out there to actually get hurt, and yes, there are stupid people out there that do stupid things. So I've been talking about messed up people, and my heart just goes out to certain people, and oh shit, my heart does go out to certain people, and what the hell was that? How do you crouch? There we go. But yeah, the phone's the biggest, the best detective I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's basically the reason why people sometimes should not put the phone down. Put that, like, that whole song, it's like, put that fucking phone down. It's like, yeah, you can put that phone down, but what about the girl that's telling you to put the phone down? What else is she telling you? Like, you know? Is she telling you to alienate your friends? Is she telling you to not make friends or make new friends at all? Because, oh my God, there's terrible people out there. I mean, granted, there are terrible people and stuff like that, but they're not everywhere, you know, and they're not everyone. Okay, this isn't the Matrix, all right. Granted, everyone is capable of something, but like some terrible things. But that's the point. Is not all the time. No, not all the time. It's some people pride themselves on actually not doing anything bad, and also too, sometimes people pride themselves on not doing anything bad, and they also don't believe in religion or don't believe in a certain deity or some sort of thing to actually make them feel like not doing anything bad. Because sometimes, I'd say if you notice, you don't need a reward system to be able to do something, or even a fictitious reward system to be able to make sure that you could do the right things. Not only are you, not only are there the right kind of people out there for you, but realize that you will eventually find the right kind of friends and the right kind of people that you want to be around.
Oh shit!
So I guess this time is I think I'm doing a variation of last episode or last live stream. Like I'd say take your friends, you know. Don't just allow people to come into your life and expect them to help you and you help them. Because sometimes it's not always 50-50. It's not always split down the middle, you know? I mean, I'm not saying that you'll always be doing something for them, but if that is the case, then you should say bye-bye to your friends. And realize that no, you don't need to constantly have someone to be doing something with you or to you or for you to be able to call them your friend. And no, they don't need anything done like something to be held in order for them to be your friend. Realize that you're not going to come to certain conclusions if you don't start soul searching. Or not even, I'm not talking about you actually have a soul. I'm talking about emotionally searching through your basic life contacts and trying to see whether or not they actually do something for you, or they actually do something with you, or like emotionally, and not like physically or anything like that, but if someone doesn't have your best interests at heart, sometimes it's easier to let them go, you know? And I just died on this channel. But realize that it takes a lot to be able to do things, and no, I didn't get these ideas from anything having to do with GTA, but I did realize the what's the word? Contrariness, I guess, or whatever, or the basically opposite. I mean, I'm doing stuff that's like terrible, or considered terrible in regular society, but it's a video game, so. Take yourself up sometimes and realize that you deserve better. You know, you don't deserve a friend that's gonna tell you what to think all the time. Or, I mean, you lived on your own. I lived on my own. Like, if you're an adult, then you lived on your own and you've done things on your own. Like, you've been practicing for at least 18 years. So, I mean, I'm not saying that like you should like let go of what other people think of you, like especially your parents. But if your parents are abusive, then you need to contact the authorities. Or if you can't contact the authorities in your area, because this is pretty much all over the world. So
what's going on there?
Then if you can't contact the authorities because of the lack thereof, or anything like that, then train yourself, practice, prepare to survive. Because sometimes it doesn't work out. And yeah, I've said this before on this channel, I think, but yeah, I've been homeless before. So, I mean, and granted, I didn't live. I kind of was like I was a sly dog when I was homeless. I didn't particularly take things from people, but I did check out some ATMs every once in a while, and whenever people left things, I made $350 in 1 week. So, I mean, there was drug people around, and I probably took advantage of a system that was pretty much going to be torn down in the next decade, I say. But, people think that everything lasts forever, and they'll latch onto anything sometimes to see if everything lasts forever. I knew things weren't going to last forever, so I needed to get back to be able to get to a place where I was secure and I was safe. So, my mom constantly worried about me. Sometimes she went into the hospital worrying about me because, I mean, I wasn't doing any, like, hard drugs or anything like that. Cause, I mean, seriously, I wanted to survive. I didn't want to fucking die or something. I'm not a fucking suicidal idiot. I mean, I'm not saying that people are idiots if they're suicidal. I'm just saying that I would be an idiot. I would judge myself and call myself an idiot if I ever tried to do that. And yeah, I've been suicidal before. I've had suicidal thoughts, and I've actually realized in mid-coitus that of being able to, of thinking about ways to take my life, how stupid the idea was, because it was stupid, and yeah, that's the reason why I like to not do stuff like that. And
don't act like a tough guy.
I tried to think about what I would do if you know, I try to think about certain friends and certain people and the way that they keep themselves and the way they hold themselves. And the fact of the matter is sometimes I wouldn't be doing the same things they would be doing. I really wouldn't. So it's like I'd much rather be a person just not around them, you know. But it has to do with a couple people in particular. Like recently, not recently, I guess a few years ago, there was an individual that decided that he was gonna force me into a situation where I was basically owned by him. And that man's name was, well, be redacted from the situation. He decided that he was going to own me, basically. And he also tried to get me to lose my job in front of the camera, to try to hit him, and he thought that it was funny. He thought that it was hilarious. Unfortunately, he lost his job, like, I'd say, like, so much so far into it, because he was doing side deals, and I was a bellman at the time, and he was selling rooms. He was also what's the word? Doing stupid shit. So, like, I'm not gonna go into any more details after that, but he was doing stupid shit, and he got fired for it. And realizing that he was wrong, he tried to become friends with me again. And I'm just like, dude, I only give so many people so many chances, so, you know, have a good one, you know. But it's not that I decided to not hang out with him because of something. It's the fact that he did that probably a lot more than just me. He probably did that a lot more in just my, and I actually had to stop hanging out with my other friends because they hung out with him, you know. And I wound up losing that job too, but I can still go back. He can't. Like, I can still, like, look for another job there. And eventually I probably will do something of the sort, but first I need to get some experience under my belt again, because they're gonna ask for the reason why I had a 2-year hiatus, and it had lots to do with my mental health.
Oh, you screwed up my car.
So but in any case, I'm in a better off position than he ever was, because I am, because I can say that. Because, you know, it's just...
Shit.
Because I want to be. Because I want to be positive, and because I want to not blame him. I realize that eventually he'll find his own dream job. He'll find what he needs to find, he'll do what he needs to do, and he'll be the person that he wants to be, whether it's for his child that he has, and also for his friends, or whatever friends that he gets along the way. I'm not saying that he wasn't I'd say a catalyst for me to be losing my job, I guess, and not wanting me to be able to do things, I guess. I really wanted him to do okay, though. And I don't wish him any harm. I wish him well, basically. The reason why is because I have a lot of different things that I did, like, I'd say, I mean, not counting tips sometimes, and doing stuff that was, I guess, stupid, you know, partying, you know, having a great time, and people just generally not liking the people that I hung out with. So, and I think that if I would have stuck to my own and stuck to myself, then I would have done probably way better and realized a lot more dreams or goals, and probably actually become a little bit more of a salesperson, because that's probably what I would actually envision myself doing. But other than that, I kind of think, other than that, I think that I did not like that animal. But I didn't do the things that I was supposed to do at first, and I wound up getting sideswiped by someone who was worse off than me, and I thought just because he was worse off than me, then I would keep my job. So, and eventually I moved to night shift, and then I put in my 2 weeks notice. But I wasn't doing things that were right either. I wasn't doing anything illegal to the company or anything that was bad to the company, but I wasn't doing right by my own life, and I wasn't doing right by my own positivity and my own emotional stability. And
Come on, lady.
I realized that
Don't fight.
through learning and through seeing certain things in my life change,
So you're gonna drive into me?
I realized that there were too many options to be able to do stupid shit in my world, and I decided to minimize them. I needed to soul search, and I needed to stop doing something, and that's the reason why I put in my 2 weeks notice, because I know that if I would have stayed doing the same things, then I would have wound up by like certain people that I don't despise, but I don't really see my whole model of business becoming the same thing that I saw in myself. I don't see them becoming like me, and I don't see me becoming my friend anytime soon. And I don't want to like close the gate, because, or not close the gap, I guess, because it just doesn't seem plausible to me, you know? It seems like every single time that I see myself into a business or into a place where I could be probably doing something good, it's like I see myself not being fulfilled, you know? I see myself constantly working for that dime or for that dollar, and never ever seeing myself make it or win or be able to do something emotionally. I don't know. It's not anything to anyone else or anyone else's career, but I mean, I'm not like downing anyone else's career. I'm saying that it's not right for me, and that's the reasons why I quit most of the jobs that I quit. I didn't want certain jobs to be a certain way, but they were, and I wound up saying goodbye to certain people, and saying, and because of the life that they led, and realizing that they're never going to be a different person that I wanted them to be. So
I see some bad drivers, but you.
So and to that I say, I'm sorry that I made that decision at the time, but I'm also not sorry. But I'm not saying sorry, not sorry, but I'm saying sorry, but I'm also in ways not sorry because of the fact that if I didn't let them go, then I'd be associated with certain people that I just didn't feel like being associated with. And not to say that I'm holier than them or better than them in any way. It's just it's just, I see myself and I see the way that I got raised, and I see my mom and I see my dad, and I see sometimes the chances I was given even after I fucked up or did something stupid. And it's worth more to me and their psyche to be able to please them, or not even just please them, but make sure that I'm something that my mom and dad will be proud of. And I would be doing myself a disservice or an injustice if I didn't pursue my art career, or if I didn't pursue what I really wanted to do, which is art and movie props and a whole bunch of different other stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the best or anything like that, but I'm saying I'm pretty freaking good. I've been drawing since I was 5,
blue sports car.
I'm saying that yes, I am pretty freaking amazing at what I do. I'm not saying that I've been drawing since I was 5 years old. I've been studying every single kind of art that I possibly can. And I literally can draw anything you want me to draw. Anything. Anything. Literally give me a request. And I will post a picture on Instagram if anyone wants to follow me. So, I'm probably going to check the comments later, but I mean, also to, have 0 viewers again. Whatever.
Sorry! Not really!
Playing around and doing stupid shit. So, also I'm practicing for online, so.
Citizens report a reckless driver on Fort Zancudo Approach Road in Fort Zancudo.
But in retrospect, realize that you have experience in doing things and you don't have to give, I'd say 120% when someone else is only giving like 40 or 30. Realize that in relationships and in friendships, you have to know when to let go. You have to know when it's enough, or when you've had enough, or when you've had anything enough. And that doesn't mean you get to ruin that person's life back or something, or that person needs to know how much they hurt you or something. It's stupid to think that. But and in the same sense, it is very stupid and it's very ill-willed to be someone who doesn't understand the fact that you keep doing stuff like that, or you do stuff like that at all, you will get caught. All right. Yeah, I'm doing racing games, so I'm not really practicing how to do anything. Other than whatchamacallit, driving. So I'm gonna try to okay. All right. Alright, hold on. Alright. So,
Well, you don't see me driving?
but yeah, pick your friends wisely, and also, shit. I thought that was a rat. and I was gonna hit that. But pick your friends wisely, and also, if you see someone doing something, and this is not just for kids, because say something about it. And yes, I do live in a place where crime happens kind of often, and it's probably the reasons why I don't say things sometimes whenever I should say things. But realize that everything has a time and place. That everyone needs to wait sometimes. But just because you think something isn't happening doesn't mean it's not. And always think about your next thing, okay? People don't want to think about that stuff, and think about this, okay? I've said this before on this live stream probably, and I don't think anyone wants to hear this stuff, so I'm pretty much thinking like they're already, but that's not the audience that I'm looking for anyways. I'm looking for people who want to support, and I guess, and also, I mean, you can troll or whatever. I mean, that's funny, ha ha ha, and everything like that. And I'm gonna laugh probably at some point or another, and realize that realize that things happen, and people get saved, and people get saved from really terrible things. I'm not talking about saved from Jesus or anything like that. I'm not saying any of that bullshit, because it's bullshit. But I'm talking about saved from terrible stuff, okay? Motorcycle mine.
Fucking way.
Realize that there are so many ways that people are helping, and that people are doing things, and realize that no, it's never the end of the world. It's never the end of the world until it's the end of the world. And not because of a news story saying that it's the end of the world, or saying Armageddon, or saying some sort of thing, because they say things that are very convenient to be able to watch. And sometimes they do have important things to say. But yes, it's sensationalism, and I hate it. So, it's never the end of the world until it is the end of the world. And if it is the end of the world, then there's hardly anything anyone can do besides getting on a ship and that goes to outer space and flying there if they want to make it, you know, because, or become a company and make their own spaceships, like SpaceX did. You know, that kind of stuff. Or, you know, uncover a conspiracy or something like that. That there's a whole bunch of ships being made. Oh, what's the premise of that movie? but oh, shitty bitches. God dang it. That was an amazing thing I did there. It was fun. But realize that when you pick your friends and when you pick the places you go to, whatever things happen in those places, realize that you're not going to be the only one. Realize that there are other people out there like you, and if you ever feel lonely, or if you ever feel out of it, or if you ever feel like everyone's coming down on you,
I can't wait to put my feet up and watch The Accountant tonight. Yeah. What's shaking? Man.
and there is always room for more good. But yeah, there's always room for more good. No matter what people say, or no matter how people say it, there's always room for more good things to happen. And there's always room for more positive things to happen. And I'm talking about like positive as in good things that people do, like helping old people across the street, or not doing it while you're drunk, you know, that kind of stuff. And also, you know, that kind of stuff. Just a whole bunch of stuff that you can do for good. But also to realize that you're not a civil servant. And if you want to be a civil servant, then be a civil servant. But that's the reason is you have to be positive about the things that you're serving, you know? You can't just like, ooh, this city's going to hell. It's like, that's how you get fired from being a cop. That's how you get, like, that's like the way to get fired. Like, it's like, just Morty's killing Morty's. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get fired soon. Don't worry. Not Morty's killing Morty's, but like, just, that's how anyone gets fired. That's like, it's like, even though they were trying to group all the people who were doing stupid shit together sometimes, and then they were trying to make them like part of the same precinct and stuff, and then they would get rid of them. That's what they do. So that's what happens when you do things that are stupid, when the crime rate goes up, and or you try to act like you own things because of the fact that you own the bank. So you own a bank, and that bank defaults on one of your loans or something like that, but you own the bank. So you don't have to default on that loan. You can just keep on taking money out whenever you please, okay? And that's called, just because your credit score is terrible doesn't mean you can't do corruption, right? So, but yeah, that's the point. That's the reason why most of the banks actually failed, and is because people kept defaulting on their loans. But instead of doing stuff, they'd act like they own the bank and take out another loan under a different pseudonym. Or people would own the bank literally outright in the old days, and then, or even sometimes in the new days, they would still not default on those loans, or they would still default on those loans, but they wouldn't even sign the paperwork or do any paperwork at all. Or they would say to the person who's doing the paperwork, hey, wait, don't do the paperwork, I have money for you. And then they'd walk off and take more money. Yeah, some people still do that. And I'll like say the same way with like computer programs that try to make people bankrupt and shit. Try to like go into their things and take pennies off the dollar. Go into little things like that, because eventually you'll realize and see the statistical error in in a business, because that does make businesses go bankrupt, because they use that money to stay afloat whenever things get hectic. Yeah, and also too, why would you want to freaking to do a business bad? And also too, I mean, just because you own the bank does not mean that you own the money in the bank.
We're flying over now!
There's people out there that are disagreeing, probably disagreeing, or don't want to say shit. But, I mean, there's people also that are agreeing with me, but they're still not watching.
Suspect doing
And I don't
50
give a
miles
shit,
per hour
whatever.
in
Doesn't matter to me. I just like to say this
Western
stuff because it just, it makes me feel better. Yes, that was awesome. But yeah, it makes me feel better because realize you can't get away with everything. Realize that eventually someone knows. And when someone knows, they start looking, they start digging. No matter what.
What's up?
And as long as one person knows, 1,000 people know.
Come on, lady!
No!
Don't fight!
And this is like different stuff, but as long as one person, 1,000 people know. Because without
You fucking dick!
with all of them, it was like, oh, just cross-reference this, and it's, how do you do that? It's like, that's what every police officer knows. It's what every single crime investigator knows. Every one of them. It's like the losers are legal video games. They're just waiting until someone how much money they have. Yeah. It's like baseball cards were terrible. They were all terrible. It was a scheme to actually be able to make more money for the league. It's a scam because it was a scam when baseball cards did it. It was a scam because you take advantage of someone's lack of knowledge about what's inside the cards to be able to sell them something that might not actually be that way. And yes, it's gambling. Even baseball cards back in the day were gambling. It was gambling. It was all gambling. Every single time you had a chance of doing something and a chance of something else. It's called a gamble. And it is probably should and would probably be seen by the state as gambling. Oh, that sucks, dude. I watched so many different things about that, and yes, it's gambling. It's so much gambling. I don't just agree with the lawyer. I knew it was gambling from the moment I saw Yu-Gi-Oh! Even in Yu-Gi-Oh cards it was gambling. Even in every single card. It was even in Pokemon cards it was gambling. Every single time you're like, oh, I might get something really cool. You're like, that's gambling. Yeah, it's really gambling. You're like, I paid the same amount. Wait, I paid the same amount at what's the word? At a slot machine. And then I might win something cool. Like $50 the whole time. It's like, it's gambling. And yes, you sometimes get absolutely nothing. Sometimes you get the one dude that was there at the equivalent of nothing. But if you keep those cards in mint condition, ooh, mint condition, how do you do that? You put them in these plastic things you have to buy. You put them in a binder. Why do you put them in a binder? Because the binder stretches them and curves them. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, and also, yeah, so choose your ceramic and or plastic container as well as your binder, or even your not binder, or if you want to keep those sheets out and put them on the wall, you know. You know, because I mean they probably have less dust on them if you put them on the wall because they're horizontally vertically instead of horizontally. I keep getting stuff sometimes, but yeah, pick your choose your friends, because I mean, and people say don't choose your friends, or it's like just allow things to fall as they may. It's like, no, because that gives the people who want to take advantage of you and your shit time to take advantage of you. Why would you do that? Why would you just take it easy? And granted, my dad and mom were of the distance of like they liked like the it's a time of season, that kind of music sometimes. But I mean, it was a fad. It was a fad because there really are bad people up there. And you could say that, oh my God, you're talking about, it's like there are really bad people out there. They do terrible fucking things to people. And that's the reason why we're in. Oh, that's nice. Good job, me. Awesome. So, all right, but also to, I mean, realize, yes, there are terrible, terrible people out there that do bad things, and they're not always going to be out there, but the only reason they're not always going to be out there is if we do something about it today.
Citizens report A503 on,
and the only way that you're going to be able to make your own friends and do your own stuff with your friends is if you stop acting like you're a victim and start taking advantage of the day. Start taking oh shit. Yeah. Alright, start taking, I'd say no, because I'm not taking advantage of you. Carpe diem, yes. Seize the day, you know? Like, do things that you want to do. Not that do things that are spontaneous, because there's so much to do everywhere, all the time. I mean, I'm not saying that there's everywhere. I mean, there's also places that you can't go. But I mean,
this is total bullshit.
realize that once you realize that you're not a number, that you're not, and also too, those things were meant to empower people, not to make them more lazy, not to make them more. And I'm not saying hippies are lazy. I'm just saying that's also a derogatory statement. so I'm not gonna say hippie anymore. Besides when I said just that. I mean, it's more like I'd say like easygoers, I guess. I'm just saying that people got to take it easy because of a certain cultural thing and a certain thing that people were doing. People didn't want those easygoers to be able to make it to a certain status symbol or a certain thing in the 70s because of the fact that they were living inside of a democracy, but they were also criticizing that democracy on every mistake it ever made. And that's exactly what some terrorists used to do. I'm not saying that that's what terrorists do all the time. I'm just saying that the more you criticize something in a time of crisis, the more crisis there will be. I'm not saying that I'm a nationalist or a government or for government or anything like that. I'm just saying the more you act crazy and say that a government is going to do something terrible or that they're doing completely something terrible now, the more you villainize something, the less people ever do anything with it ever again. Like the more you, and also if that's your main thing, if that's what you're trying to accomplish, then eventually you'll turn into a terroristic group just like the people who are terroristic groups today.
What is this bullshit?
Or seen as terroristic groups because they don't have a government. They don't have land. They don't own land as an asset. And if they do, then they need to file it with whatever tax reform or whatever government is within these bounds of this land today. I'm not saying that I'm a child of like whatever, but I'm saying that if you take advantage of someone, if you do something to someone and say, it's like that whole thing. It's like in the 70s it was okay to kill people and they wouldn't find out for a couple of days. But they would do that. The people would do that in the 70s. They would kill people rampantly. People would kill people rampantly sometimes. Like they'd use the fact that people were doing stuff like free love and a whole bunch of different stuff like that to be able to kill them or to kill people like them or to do anything bad or to rape women or take advantage of women, and they'd be sitting out in vans sometimes. It's like now sitting out in a van is kind of fucking weird, and it's also kind of like a little rapey because that's what they did sometimes.
Citizens reporting.
Because people took advantage of certain movements. People took advantage of every movement, no matter what, just to get laid, to get paid, and to get whatever the fuck they want to do. So why have a movement of why not just have a movement of information? Of knowing something, of knowing things, and not changing who you are just because of someone who thinks that they know some good music. I'm not saying that music is bad. Music is wonderful when you're trying to relax or when you're trying to do something really, really awesome. But the more message a piece of music actually has, the more people actually try to take advantage of it sometimes. It's like the more momentum an idea gets, the more people will try to take advantage of it. The more people will try to say or to put their little soapbox, like Expert Thief 29 did yesterday. Like the more people will try to get the platform noticed through a certain existential thing. It's like, and I'm not saying that their things aren't valid, but I'm also saying that it also gives people who are terrible the idea to be able to take advantage of people who are good and just trying to show people the truth or trying to show people a truth or their opinion or something that they thought of or an idea, or so I'm trying to sell them a product. But also to knowing that that product could be taken advantage of and misconstrued and turned into something completely that it doesn't want to be. Realize that that's a true fact and that's a true thing. And the more people don't see everyday life and don't see everything around them, the more they'll be taken advantage of. The more they'll be put into the gutter without a second thought. And not just by any government, but by another person. Realize that there is an everyday thing. There is an everyday life. There are everyday things, and there is no end to this life. Because even if you are dead, you are just detached from your physical self. Life keeps going. The universe knows that. Everyone says that there's a huge, supermassive black hole in the inside of. I don't believe in black holes or dark matter or any of that bullshit. I just think that literally shit is just pushing itself away from everything because everybody's acting like assholes to each other. There are so many things that are happening because of people who are just doing stupid shit. And if you do nice things and everyone has a society that they're doing something nice in, there's another society where people are killing each other for fucking money and doing stuff because their government and something says so. Because everyone can misconstrue anyone's words to say anything. And I'm saying that before I'm saying anything else. So, whenever you have friends, whenever you do things, and whenever you do stuff, realize that you can be taken advantage of literally today by your regular friends. And they wouldn't bat an eye sometimes. So get better friends sometimes. Get good friends, and if those people want to just be independent and do things on their own, or say things on their own, or have no viewers like I do, realize that the things can be pulped, and things can be picked up, things can be looked at in a certain way, and I know that people try to use certain stuff to make sure that there are no nationalisms or no nations or whatever. Imagine there's no countries, and there are no countries. We agree that there are countries. There's just fences and cut lawns that are cut and lines that are drawn imaginarily. They're all imaginary. It's not actually a thing. You can think about the people in your society, but you can also say that nature has no correlation with us. No quarrel, no anything. Nature has no quarrel with us. Nature has nothing doing, okay? Realize that nature will go on, alright? Even if this planet destroys itself, or even decides to keep going. Because it is alive. Why is it moving? It's alive. Why is it moving? Why is everything moving? Why is California moving on a certain fault line? Why are fault lines moving? Why does it do that? Because the heat and heat is no, it's alive. It's alive. Plants are alive. Why are plants alive? Why would an alive thing attach itself to a big old dead thing if that thing was moving? Why would that thing be moving if it was dead? I don't know. There's so much stuff that I think I should explain to people, and then they're never going to listen to because I have no viewers still and no messages. And obviously, I went to 3 hours, or an hour without actually saying anything. But yeah, because I went to the store and it's a live stream, so I'm not really like too keen on actually editing sometimes. But I can edit, so I mean I can edit really easily. It's not that big of a deal. But also too, I mean, it would take hours, so it wouldn't be a big deal. But I don't know, just I'm not gonna edit the ones that I'm doing, the ones that I did now. I'm not gonna thumbnail the ones that the live streams that I'm doing all the time. But realize that there's a lot of stuff going on. There's always a lot of stuff going on. There's always something to get into. There's always something to read. There's always someone to talk to. And you can find friends that will be like you, and that will be around you, and that will like you, and that will like the stuff that you like, because there are plenty of people that like the stuff that you like. And also too, I mean, people are always paranoid about getting together and doing different things. And I just hit that girl's ankle. It sucks. But yeah, I mean, if you really think that you can do better and you can be more positive, then be more positive. I mean, no matter what your opinions are, no matter how your opinions are, no matter, I mean, like, just try to do something more, you know? Try to say something a little bit more positive about someone. I mean, but yeah, that's the reason why I'm not into like feel good music and stuff like that. Because sometimes people are just looking to take advantage of other people. I know. They said I'm thinking in my head that people would like, oh, they're villainizing our culture. It's like, no. What are you talking about culture, man? There's no such thing as, look, you can say your culture or what you want or how you want, but it's just the way you live. It's the way you and your friends or your family or your close relatives or any of those people or even people who just look like you or people who don't look like you live. Because that's the way that they were taught when they were younger. That's the way everyone was taught when they were younger, to be together, to do something. And if someone does something to someone, then they don't respect that person anymore, or something like that, or they oh my gosh, it's like, oh, that person can't redeem themselves because, like, yeah, it's really stupid. It's like the Purge, okay? It pisses me off when people don't understand certain things. It pisses me off when people decide that they're just gonna be someone else for a while, or they're not gonna acknowledge someone of some sort of thing, and realize that people do that all the time. It sucks. And the more we don't acknowledge each other, and the more we realize that everything is fleeting. Everything is fleeting. Even our world. Everything is fleeting. And they don't make importance or realize that it's the only thing that's constant is everything. So much so that it's fleeting, as in the same instance, it's completely and utterly just fine. Everything. I realized that when I was younger. I realized that when I was about 10 years old. And no, it wasn't because of an excuse or a childhood thing that I came up with. I literally was extremely smart. And no one knew. And everyone kept putting pressure down on me sometimes. And, that's how I was able to come up with these opinions and these things that I know and these facts that I pretty much understand. And it's like, I mean, it's like, you can say that it's just you can say that it's just nothing, or that that's the reason why I get angry sometimes. It's because I'm worried about what people think and how people think it. Because the ways people think about our world and the ways people think about the things that happen in it clouds their judgment. It clouds everyone's judgment. And they can say that, oh, it's flower power, man, or it's something. It's like that thing is not evolved yet. It's not evolved like you. And that's the reason why you feed off of it. That's the reason why you eat it. The reason why you treat it with no respect sometimes. But you should respect it. Because if ever it gains claws, or anything like that, and decides to rise up against you, realize it was your own fault, because you didn't respect it. You can say that it's flower power, or it's something like that, but no. There's a reason for the things that people do, and there's a reason.
Look what you made me do.
There's a reason for the season, and some people don't get the season, and they don't understand that.
Dead don't drive.
That the season is for whatever it is, for whoever will take it to the next season. I'm not saying that I mean it's weird to say that things are watching us, but I mean it's also weird to say that that we're not watchable. If we were a TV series, then I think we'd be pretty freaking entertaining. You know? Especially with Trump around. Jeez. Everything's a fucking show. It's annoying as shit. Or with Obama, everything's a fucking movie and shit. Or with any fucking body that thinks that they can steal the limelight for like 20 seconds and then tell it that it did a good job and that, oh, it's better this way, and then change absolutely nothing. Because really, truly influential people know the big picture, but also see the fact that there are small pictures that make up the big picture. And it's like that little thing that like, oh my god, you see back and you realize that, oh my god, it's a woman's face, holy shit. No, it's, yeah, it's like that, but it's like that's the world, dude. That's the reason for the world. That's the world. It's a euphemism for what the world is and how the world is. Because, I mean, why is it moving? I'm not saying that, like, I'm also saying that, like, it could probably kick us off, you know? You know, if it didn't want us here or some shit like that, it's probably the invention of death. Like, it's probably the reason why people die. Because people couldn't come to any conclusion about what they wanted or how they wanted to do things. They just like, oh, yeah, whatever. I think I'm defaulting on my student loans, so I really don't give a shit. I blanked out in class, and they fucking have a courtroom, a judge decide whether or not I actually did that or actually just wanted to get out of things. So yeah, fucking, I don't give a shit. I'm not even gonna be judged by it because it doesn't matter. Whatever. Student loans are stupid anyway.
I see some bad drivers, but you! Woo-ho-ho.
But yeah, I'll probably pay him later when I get my money to pay him. But also too, I want to get forgiven by them because I didn't even go into like 3 weeks of school. I went to like maybe 3.5 weeks of school and freaking and W'd out because I blinked out on the test. So there's that. But I don't know. I just do myself. It would be nice to have people to watch, but I'm not doing anything online, so you know, there's that. And I guess when people get older, they'll see. Or when older generations get on top of YouTube and see stuff that they like and stuff like that. Because the younger generations are pretty much controlling YouTube right now. Anyone under, let's say, 20, 21, I guess. Yeah. I'm not talking about like the controlling, what's the word, like controlling it as far as views go, not as far as content goes, but as far as views go,
We have a visual on the target.
they're controlling it. I guess,
Suspect last seen in eastern Port Santiago.
I mean, realizing that, you know, there's just lots of stuff out there, doing lots of stuff.
Eagle 6 engaging suspect.
I'm doing an amazing job of outrunning the tanks. Son of a bitch. That sucks. But yeah, I got a missed call on these people who want to. U.S. China announced $1 billion in energy and technology. Yeah, whatever. Anyways. Oh, man. It's not gonna work, probably.
Hey, I love the new hair. Is this a...
Forgive me, sweetheart.
Yeah, I don't do the news, so it's dumb. The people like me are out there speculating on every single thing that the newscaster is actually doing, is whether or not he's a credible source of news, whether or not he's everything is anything, whether or not he takes care of his kids right, or just sensationalizes everything and does stuff like that, or whether or not he's a womanizer or a pedophile or just an all-around asshole, or a drunk, or a drug addict, or anything like that. You know, anything. You know, or like a good person. You know, all that stuff. Yeah, no, stuff like that. Yeah. My microphone came out. Shit. Or the earpiece that I use on my microphone came out. But yeah.
We gotta get out.
Come on, lady. Don't fight.
But yeah, pick your friends wisely. You know? Because they're either going to be there for you for the rest of your life, or they're just going to be your friend, and I mean, you know, that's it. Or they'll take advantage of everything you do because they think that you're just easily notable like that. You're just the one that gets to be taken advantage of because that's in their day. Because or they just won't get their shit together on purpose so they can take advantage of whatever they want to around them. Or they'll use all that time and manageable everything to be able to do different things like steal people's stuff. You know, that kind of stuff. Alright, I didn't say anything for like a minute and a half, so but also too, I mean, I'm just ranting. I mean, I'm just raving about stuff, and no one should really pay attention to me anyway. I guess I don't have anything else to say. Keep repeating myself over and over again because I'm tired of the way that the people are actually doing things. I don't know, just I know too much about my own human psyche to be ever so trusting about anyone else's sometimes. And I know that other people have the same kind of knowledge about me. So, how can we ever trust each other? These are all, I mean, we all made up constructs about things that happen because of the things that happen and because of things that people do to each other, or because of the way that things affect each other or something like that. But also, I really don't want to say that there are bad people out there anymore. I really want people to be better. And I don't look at people and try to see what they want or how they want to do things or the way they want to do things, or if they want to be like me or if they want to be like themselves or anything like that. I don't look at people for that. I look at people for inspiration. And when they stop inspiring me,
Yo, what's good, sexy?
I'm done. You know?
Yeah, I left you a message, remember me? You asked if my watch was a dog?
And again, yes, that's the reason why I follow people for a little while, and then when they don't come up with something that is cool or new or fun for me to actually like play on or something like that, then I don't follow them anymore. And it's the same way with friends. The moment they stop trying to inspire me or start trying to make me believe in something or try to make me change because that's the way things are, that's not the way things need to be. I realize that there are risks out there, and there are always risks. But realizing that people don't need energy to inspire. They don't need energy to make someone believe in something different. They don't need words sometimes to express themselves in a way that could make someone think differently. Or even think the same, or even think something even better. So once they start trying to tell me how to live my life, instead of trying to make me laugh or make me cringe or make me cry or make me do something or make me realize something profound or anything like that, that's the moment that I stop following them. It's the moment that I stop being around them. It's the moment that I see it's the moment that I see how everything they said or everything they do leads up to something, and then it stops instead of keeps going, because I'm not bound by just the things that I do physically. I'm not bound by the things that I just do. I just say verbally. I'm not bound by the things that I just do I really think that that everyone deserves to live. That everyone deserves to make it out alive. And even though people say that death or whatever death is, because they made up the word. It sounded good, so it stuck. That's it. They have no idea what happens when people lose their consciousness from their body. They have no idea what happens afterwards. And if anyone does, it's someone that basically it's someone that's hiding it from everyone else. For not or any other reason, just to see everyone squirm. And I'm sure it would change everything. But pick your friends like you pick your religion. If you ever have one. Or if you don't have one, pick your friends like you would pick your political beliefs. Or pick your friends like you would pick your favorite kind of food. If it doesn't taste good, if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't give you good things as far as nutrients or anything, I'm speaking metaphorically. If it doesn't make you think every single day, if it doesn't make you think about stuff every single day, and if it makes you like dread waking up in the morning, then don't do it. Then do something else that makes sense to you. And also know that this has been an hour and 33 a minute and 14, 15 16 seconds game therapy session. You all owe me $500. Alright. All 0 of you. I don't give a shit.